Okay, I recently watched the new sci-fi horror comedy M3GAN, and I thought I'd just share some brief, spoiler-free thoughts on it. Relatively spoiler-free. As long as you've seen the trailer, there won't be any spoilers. And it's currently streaming on the Peacock, that is. But I think we should all just collectively start calling it the Cock, if we haven't already. And I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, it's a weird movie, and it's weird for a couple of reasons. It's not a movie that you haven't seen before. It's basically Child's Play without the personality meets The Terminator without the personality. And there are leaps in logic that are just hard for me to get past. It centers around this toy designer named Gemma, played by Allison Williams, who is really more of a roboticist than a toy designer. I have no idea why she's working for a toy company at all. She's capable of designing fully functioning, interactive AIs. She should be working for fucking Boston Dynamics or NASA. I mean, this is like if Tony Stark was an employee at General Motors. Granted, she does royally screw it up, but she's clearly working far below her pay grade. And she designs M3GAN, a robot AI that is meant to be a toy. And she basically tests it out on her niece, Katie, who recently lost her parents in a tragic accident. And as you can see in the trailer, M3GAN goes mental. She begins learning things, and kind of inexplicably, she becomes violent. I guess because she has become sentient and doesn't really want to function as a glorified Cabbage Patch Kid anymore. But it's just so unbelievable. I mean, Chucky involves voodoo and supernatural stuff. So your suspension of disbelief is greater for something like that. But when it's just supposed to be tech that is mostly grounded in reality, it's just tough to buy it, when it's a doll that is designed with superpowers and super speed. It doesn't make sense. Robots are only as powerful as you make them. Why would Gemma design a children's toy with the ability to rip apart human beings? I mean, is she a psychopath? I guess so. And I know that there's a comedy element, but even knowing that, it still doesn't make sense. And I almost feel like the comedy stuff was added much later. I feel like it was meant to be a straightforward sci-fi horror. But somewhere along the line, they realized this is just too stupid. So we have to add some comedy to signal to the audience that we know it's dumb, so just try to enjoy it. And that kind of ruins it for me. I think it would have been way better and way funnier without the comedy. I know that doesn't make much sense, but if it was just a movie that was trying to be serious, it would actually be funny. Because it would be unintentional. It would become a movie that is so bad it's good. But because of the comedy, it destroys any chance of it being perceived that way. And really, all the characters are strange. And maybe that's intentional too, I don't know. But they're all unlikable. I mean, there's one scene where again, no spoilers, but where Katie has just lost her parents, and Gemma is like, okay, well, here's my iPad. Can you entertain yourself for the day while I go work on my robots? I mean, I have no idea why she took this kid in if she has absolutely no interest in interacting with her. As I said, unlikable. And as I also said, it's nothing you haven't seen before. Just another retread of a handful of sci-fi and horror movies that you've seen many times in the past. And if I was going to give it a score, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5. I can't recommend it personally. As a big sci-fi and horror fan, there are a lot of expectations when it comes to robots becoming sentient. We've seen that before, and I think we've seen it done a lot better. But let me know what you thought of it. And until next time, take it easy.